bug.
We can get up there, huh? We got 10 minutes.
Every time I think of you, I feel shot right through with a bolt of blue. It's no problem of mine, but it's a problem I find living.
Again, a reminder, be sure to pick up your copy of Pro Football's best and biggest souvenir game first.
Jay Schrader is waiting in the wings. The passing attack has added speedsters like Willie Gault, while perennial All-Pro Marcus Allen is providing the ground punch. Out of maybe 80,000 here at the Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, as CBS Sports welcomes you to NFL action today. It's the Los Angeles Rams against the Los Angeles Raiders. Good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, and I don't know what kind of a rivalry this really is. The teams have played only twice since the Raiders moved here from Oakland in 1982 was one of the last times. And the fact is that Howie Long of the Raiders said that if you drop me in Orange County where the Rams play their games, I couldn't find my way home. But we do expect a competitive ball game today and some compelling stories indeed. And Dan Fouts is my partner. Number one on the list has to be the question, will Jay Schrader suit up and actually play at quarterback for the Raiders today?
Well, you'd think that if the score got out of hand, yes, he would. But Mike Shanahan told us on Friday that the big thing he's looking at is how well his offense functions. If it's not going well with Berline, we'll see Schrader. As for the LA Rams and John Robinson, they've got a new defense that they call the Eagle. But it's still on offense where they like to run the ball. They believe they can be more powerful than any team they face.
All right, Dan, a beautiful day, 76 degrees and sunny on this Indian summer afternoon. The Rams have won the toss. They'll receive. Chris Barr will kick off for the Raiders. And deep for the Rams, Gaston Green is closest to you. Robert Del Pino is to the top. We're underway. Kick heading over toward Del Pino at the 2. And he fights his way to the 20-yard line. Reggie McKenzie makes the stop for the Raiders. Jim Everett, who's now a competent winning quarterback, according to his coach John Robinson, will look at a Raiders defense, which has been decimated because of injury. Up front, Howie Long, Bill Pickel, and Mike Wise. The linebackers, Milt McCall will start at outside linebacker. Matt Millen, Jerry Robinson, and Rod Martin are the other linebackers. And there are the cornerbacks. Dennis Price is a rookie on the left side. On first down, Everett sacked back to the 10. Mike Wise.
Right away, the Raiders come out with a play-action pass. They're going to test the beat-up Raiders secondary, and the Raiders secondary answered the call here. Everett had no place to go, and Wise with a good pass rush.
That's a big boost to the Raiders. They've lost several players from that secondary. Second down and 20. They bring in Greg Townsend, the Raiders, for pass rushing. Greg Bell gets maybe 2 yards on the carry. Stacy Turan and Rod Martin combine to make the stop, and it'll be 3rd and long. The rest of the offense for the Rams, Greg Bell, who had a marvelous game last week, and Buford McGee are the backs. Henry Ellard and rookie Aaron Cox are the wide receivers. Up front, a fine offensive line. Irv Pankey, Tom Newberry, Doug Smith, Duval Love, and Jackie Slater. And Damone Johnson is the tight end. McGee is the one setback. 3 wide receivers. 3rd and 17 on the 13. And Everett's going deep. Incomplete. Willie Anderson was the intended receiver, and Eddie Anderson, the free safety, on the coverage.
The Raiders like to bring in a number of defensive backs, but they don't call it nickel or dime. They like to use special names. That time they had 6 defensive backs in the game. They call that their bandit defense.
Rich Camarillo, who used to punt for the New England Patriots, will be kicking from his end zone, and Tim Brown is already in Ram territory, looking for the return. So the Raiders have answered the questions of their defense early here.
Nothing like a nice pass rush and a sack on the very first play of the game.
Tim Brown. We want to welcome the audience that saw the Minnesota Vikings shock the Chicago Bears dramatically at Soldier Field 31-7. We're here at the Los Angeles Coliseum. The Rams and Raiders just underway in the first quarter. This is Dick Stockton along with Dan Fouts. The Raiders stuffed the Rams with a great pass rush on the first series, and now the Raiders have a 1st and 10 on their own 46 with their first possession of the game. Steve Berline is the quarterback. Marcus Allen and Steve Smith are the backs. Penalty markers fly. Allen on the handoff. And we might have had movement by the right tackle.
False start, right tackle, offense. 5 yards, still first down.
It was the right tackle, Steve Wright, for the Raiders. The defense for the Rams, that's been the key to their 2 wins. They're 2-0. Doug Reed, Alvin Wright, and Sean Miller up front. The linebackers, Mel Owens starts, Carl Ecker and Mark Giroux and Mike Wiltshire, but we'll see a lot of Kevin Green. Jerry Gray and Leroy Irvin, 2 outstanding cornerbacks, and Johnny Johnson and Vince Newsom are the safeties. But we'll see the Rams go with 5 linebackers often.
And we'll see it right now, Dick. They are in their Eagle front.
First down and 15 at the 41. Berline getting a rush from Green and had to get rid of it in a hurry. Allen, the intended receiver, and Kevin Green, who already has 3 sacks this season, came storming in.
Kevin Green has been the dominant player for the Rams this entire year. He is leading the NFL in sacks. And John Robinson says he has an interesting combination in his personality. He's very volatile, and yet he can still play as a steady ball player. He can keep his emotions under control. He kept Berline under control that time.
He'll be dividing duties with Mel Owens, but he has given the Rams that increased aggressive pass rush that you were talking about. Second down and 15 at the 41. Allen is joined by Vance Mueller in the backfield. He's at the top of your screen. They set him out as a receiver. Wiltshire on the rush. Berline with time completes the pass to Allen. And Allen is hit hard at about the 44 by Doug Reed. It'll be third down and about 11 and a half for the Raiders.
Already we see a little bit of a cross-up for the Rams defense. They've been very successful with that Eagle defense, but they also have an adjustment off it that they like to call the Hawk. Now the Hawk is when Giroux, instead of lining up as a nose tackle, will drop back and play zone defense. That time they confused Berline. They dropped out of the Eagle into the Hawk, played pass defense, shut down the wide receivers.
3 wide receivers in there. You saw Mark Giroux go out. He plays actually the nose tackle position in that Eagle defense he talked about. Third and 12 at the Raider 44. Berline gets protection, and he's got Lofton. A 28-yard gain inside the 30 of the Rams. Mickey Sutton on the tackle. We want to welcome the viewers who saw the Washington Redskins beat the Philadelphia Eagles 17-10. We're here at the Coliseum as the Rams and Raiders, 2 LA teams battling, no score, but the Raiders are threatening. They have a first down at the Ram 27-yard line as Steve Berline just hit James Lofton with a 27-yard pass. Vance Mueller on the carry gets inside the 25 and actually close to the 20. And picks up some 8 yards on the play. Carl Eckern on the tackle for the Rams. The offense, you saw Mueller there, but normally it's Allen and Steve Smith, the running backs, behind Berline. Willie Gault and James Lofton, the wide receivers, up front, and they're a bit battered there. Rory Graves, Charlie Hanna, Bill Lewis, Bruce Wilkerson and Steve Wright, and the veteran Todd Christensen, the tight end. It'll be second down and 2. Berline swings it out, and a good catch by Steve Smith. He's got the first down and more inside the 15. Reed and Eckern on the play.
This is a fine read by Berline. He faces the blitz. Kevin Green on the outside. But this is even a better move by Steve Smith. You don't expect to see that out of one of those big old Penn State fullbacks. Marcus is back in the game, Dick. He was on the sidelines with a bit of an equipment repair on his shoulder pads. But we should see a little bit more of Mueller, giving Marcus a little bit of a break today.
First and 10 on the 12. Allen gets to about the 7-yard line. Mark Giroux and Vince Newsom on the stop, and he'll need a breather. Dan, coming into the game, Allen carried the 50 of the 53 times Raider running backs have carried the ball in the first 2 games.
He appears to still have some type of strap problem there. There you see him, he pulled it right off. So he is playing a little bit with a handicap there, but Marcus Allen's a great one. You know, Dick, when you have a rivalry or a game where you've got 2 teams from the same area, the one thing you want to do right away is establish a little power up front. The Raiders are doing that right now.
Second down and 5, and now they send Allen to the top of your picture as a receiver. One-on-one, Berline swings it out, and it's incomplete. He wanted to go to Steve Smith, the fullback, again, and Kevin Green was right in the vicinity.
Well, the one thing Berline,
as Dan mentioned,
you got to like Berline's attitude, though. He says he's not going to go out and hand the job to Jay Schrader.
Third down and 5 at the 7-yard line. Berline is nowhere to go. And he's close to a first down inside the 5. Carl Eckern and Mike Wilshire combine to make the tackle, and as you can see, Berline has signaled we're about a foot away from a first down.
This will bring up a decision on 4th down for the Raiders, but Berline does a nice job of reading the defense, and his offensive line is doing a super job of keeping them away, and then he's got enough athletic ability and desire to get that first down. Don't see many quarterbacks going in head first.
They're going to measure. Berline already thinks he's about a foot short. Dick Jorgensen is our referee, by the way, today, and Berline was a little optimistic. They're about a yard short, and it's 4th down.
You know those quarterbacks, so sometimes they see with their heart and not their eyes.
4th down. And it looks as if the Raiders are going to go for it on 4th down. They're 4th and 1. The ball is at the 3-yard line. Smith and Allen are the setbacks. Berline wants a little quiet. 3 tight ends for the Raiders. Marcus Allen will have the first down and the touchdown.
They got a penalty flag, Dick, in the end zone.
Allen got in, but we'll wait to see what the flag is all about.
It appears it's against the Rams.
Here's Dick Jorgensen.
Well, you know, you can never trust those players pointing one way or the other, Dick.
Now will try a 30-yard field goal. He is 1 for 3 so far this year. The good kick was from 25 yards. Jeff Gossett, the punter, will hold. And the kick is no good. A big opportunity goes by the boards for the Raiders. A touchdown called back by penalty, and Barr misses a field goal. And the Rams breathe just a bit easier now, and they'll take over when we. You want to talk about double and triple jeopardy after that penalty in the end zone.
Big penalty. It not only cost them the 12 yards, took the 6 points off the board, plus the extra point is 7. Now they go and try a 30-yard field goal. They miss that. So does that make that a 10-point penalty?
I would think. Scores from around the league, many of them finals from earlier in the day. The Rams with a 1st and 10 on the 20. Double tight end, Greg Bell the setback. Everett's quick toss, and it's caught by one of those tight ends, Pete Houlihan, former San Diego Charger, Stacy Turan. You call him Houlihan, that's good enough for me. 2nd down and 3 Rams. Buford McGee joins Bell in the backfield. Here's Bell. Bell, good yardage, gets a first down as he carries beyond the 35 to the 37. Dennis Price and Eddie Anderson on the stop, not before Bell picks up 10 yards.
That's a Ricky Bell.
Bell, or Greg Bell, gained 139 yards in only his second start with the Rams last week. First down on the 37, gets the call again, finds an open space and fumbles into Raider territory, but recovers his own fumble. And the Rams will maintain possession. A gain of 14 that time, with Mike Haynes and Howie Long bringing him down.
Great job on the left side by the Ram offensive line here, but one thing that Coach Robinson stresses with his running backs is running up the field, north and south. The ball just gets stripped away that time, but a fine job of Bell getting right down on top of this ball and preventing the turnover. Of course, he got a nice roll, too.
He did, 14 yards in all. First down at the 49 of the Raiders for the Rams. Robert Delpino in the game. He's a receiver. The pass overthrown. Aaron Potts, rookie, and one of the two #1 picks the Rams had this year out of Arizona State, covered by Dennis Price, a rookie from UCLA.
Pass pattern.
See if the Rams continue to work on Price. Raiders have Greg Townsend in a 4-man defensive line on 2nd and 10. Bell has a hole off the left side. And he scampers his way to about the 46-yard line. Pickup of about 3.5. Mike Wise and Stacy Turan make the stop. Look at the Jets. They beat Cleveland, which may no longer be one. 3rd and 6 for the Rams on the Raider 45. Everett gets hit, gets rid of the ball, and it's caught by Henry Ellard. Good enough for the first down. At the 34-yard line, a pickup of 11. Price was covering, and they're certainly working on Dennis Price.
Well, this is a mismatch. They get Dennis Price trying to guard Henry Ellard on just a simple out pattern. When it's 3rd and 8, you're almost forced to play man-to-man. You got to be closer than 5 yards off him, though.
He beat Price, but Jerry Robinson, the linebacker, actually knocked Ellard out of bounds.
This is like Hurricane Gilbert there. Everett was in the eye of the storm, but the storm got him at the very end.
1st and 10 at the 34. Greg Bell. The offensive line opening up holes, and Greg Bell is close to still another first down.
Dennis Harris. So the Ram offensive line is really the strength of this ball club.
Another rookie, Gaston Green, out of UCLA in the ball game. And it's Gaston Green straight ahead for another Ram first down. Jerry Robinson on the stop, and I guess we'll see more of Gaston Green. They're going to give Bell a little bit of a rest.
For a first down.
This is the great matchup
Play coming on this drive. 1st and 10 Rams on the Raider 18. No score, first quarter. On the counter, Delpino, normally used as a man in motion, gets to about the 13-yard line. Rod Martin and Eddie Anderson on the stop. Delpino, a rookie in his 1982. You remember Southern Cal beat Notre Dame that time. 2nd and 4. Bell hurdles the line, will have a first down. He hit the defense hard and gets to the 6. Mike Wise and Stacy Turan on the stop, and the Rams look awfully impressive on this drive.
Took the words right out of my mouth. This is just power football. John Robinson said this is what his team does best. Run the ball right at you, north and south. Greg Bell hasn't really been used to this type of running game. He was always more of the outside finesse type of runner, but he likes mixing it up inside like that. And he likes running behind a great offensive line.
1st and goal at the 6. Ellard in motion. And Bell again. And he'll get in for the touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown score by Greg Bell. We'll try to give the Rams a 7-0 lead here in this first quarter. Kick is good. An impressive 80-yard drive by the LA Rams, capped by Greg Bell's touchdown, and the Rams lead the Raiders 7-0. 4:18 to go in the first quarter. An impressive scoring drive of 11 plays, and 62 of those 80 yards came on the ground, most of them by Bell. His third touchdown rushing, his 4th overall, and they used a good chunk of the clock. Lansford will tee it up, and going back for the Raiders is Tim Brown. Tim Brown has already returned to kickoff 97 yards for a touchdown this year. Vance Mueller is with him. And a low squibber. And it'll be Mueller on the 10. He's got pretty good speed out of Occidental, and Vance Mueller advances it to the 33-34 yard line. Michael Stewart and James Washington combine to make the stop. First down on the 34 yard line. Berline. He's got Willie Gault. And Gault is in the Ram territory at the 46 yard line. A first down and a gain of 20. Irvin and Giroux on the stop.
Little play action pass here now. They fake the draw to Marcus, and Willie Gault proves that he can run more pass patterns than just a fly pattern. He gets Leroy Irvin playing way off, hooks it up, and a fine throw by Berline. Berline looks good so far.
Raiders just want to force people to stop Willie Gault. He has added a dimension and is at a gear that few teams have. First and 10 for the Raiders at the Ram 46, trailing 7-0 to the Rams. Berline going up top. And nearly a score. Willie Gault was right under the ball. Johnson and Irvin covering on the play, and the Raiders came oh so close to tie it up there.
This ball goes right through his hands. This is not an easy catch, but you've got to make it. This is a touchdown, and this goes right through his hands. Great throw by Berline. Good adjustment by Gault, fading out to the outside. This may have caused him to lose a little bit of concentration. He's looking at it all the way, but that just went right through the old bucket.
Second and 10, Gault comes out of the game. Three wide receivers for the Raiders with Brown, Lofton, and Mervin Fernandez. Berline miraculously escapes the rush, and Marcus Allen drops the pass. And right now, for an NFL Today report, let's check 46. Raiders have been going up on top here to try to get back in the game, trailing 7-0. Berline in the shotgun. Penalty marker down. Gault, the intended receiver, but a flag is down deep in the secondary. Mickey Sutton defending on the play, along with Vince Newsom. And it'll be against the Rams. Illegal procedure. John Robinson. Let's see how many guys are out there.
I think they got 12 out there,
12
Dick.
men on the field. Defense, 5 yards, still third down.
Guess you can't do that.
Well, see, sometimes you go with your nickel and your dime and your quarter. That was a half a dollar there.
I don't know what John Robinson can tell the side judge. I mean, if 12 is 12. Kansas City.
They still have 12 out there. Here comes John Robinson, gets it all straightened out now. One too many defensive linemen, I guess.
Doug Reed comes out of the game. Kansas City surprising Denver. Meanwhile, it is 3rd and 5 at the 41 and a life for the Raiders here. And a shuffle pass. Mike Wiltshire knocked it away, and it's incomplete. It'll go as an incomplete pass, as Mike Wiltshire just short-circuited that shuffle pass attempt by Berline. It'll be 4th down, and Gossett into punt for the Raiders.
This is why you spend time.
Who has punted very well for the Raiders near the goal line, and Stephon Adams can't keep it in bounds. It'll go as a touchback, a 41-yard punt by Gossett, and so the Rams, with the lead, get their hands on the ball. 2:53 to go in the first quarter. Afternoon at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The game was blacked out in Los Angeles, but the fans have come out, and they expect about 80,000. And it looks like it could be maybe the largest crowd of the year in the NFL. The Rams lead the Raiders 7-0. And the Rams have the ball first down on the 20-yard line. Jim Everett gets time. And the pass is overthrown, intended for Del Pino out of the backfield. Milt McCall was defending on the play. Second and 10 at the 20. Cox in motion. Pitch to Bell. Bell gets to the 21-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and long for the Raiders. Bill Pickel and Matt Millen making the stop. Again, we're updating score. Really proven that dominant. Look at the Bears today. 3rd and 9. Everett with a sidearm toss, and he's got his man for a first down. Pete Holohan and Russell Carter on the stop. Nice to have two tight ends like Damone Johnson and Holohan who can catch.
Well, this is Pete's really his best asset are his hands. Now watch, this ball is just laid out there. Now Pete will reach out with both hands to make that catch. Great coverage by Russell Carter there, but when a guy reaches out to make that catch, he cuts down the length that the ball has to be in the air, and many times you're going to get that completion.
Gain of 10 for Holohan, and the Rams are cooking. 1st and 10 on their own 32 with 1:25 remaining in the first quarter. Everett gets hit, let's go, completes to Ellard, and Ellard is stopped short of midfield.
Cincinnati Bengals 17, Pittsburgh Steelers 12, Kansas City Chiefs 20, Denver Broncos 13.
And he has to stay out for one play, so Mark Herman has come in for we don't know how many plays, but he's in there now.
Very competent quarterback, worked with me in San Diego for a number of years, and I know the Rams are happy that he's on their ball club right now.
Gaston Green, the lone setback on 1st and 10 at the Ram 48. Green gets into Raider territory to the 49-yard line, picked up 3 yards on the play as the seconds tick off. Rod Martin and Mike Wise on the stop, reaching the end of the quarter for the second quarter. How does that affect the Rams, do you think?
Well, one thing, John Robinson told us that he's very happy that Herman is there as his backup.
Good to have a guy who's been around, and that's what he has in Herman. That's the end of the first quarter with the Rams. Rams owner right in the middle of that crowd around Jim Everett. There is Georgia Frontiere, and
just checking on her investment there, quarterback Jim Everett.
Mark Herman remains the quarterback. Greg Bell is the running back. As we start the second quarter, Herman's pass over the middle, it's complete to Damone Johnson, the tight end. Johnson may have another Ram first down. Rod Martin on the stop, and it doesn't look like he had the wind knocked out of him. It looks more than that.
Well, it appears that he has blurred vision in his left eye. This is a nasty hit by Pickel as Everett is extended that entire right side, but not only that, Pickel will drive him down into the turf here, and that's where the 270 pounds comes down. He's got an ice bag on the back of his neck. I'm not sure when we'll see him again.
That's the report from the bench. Blurred vision in his left eye. So Mark Herman is leading the Rams, and they have a first down at the Raider 41, leading the Raiders 7-0. Herman's pass right on the money to Ellard and knocked out of bounds at the 20. Mike Haynes, the 35-year-old veteran there, and right now Herman is
not only on pass protection but on running plays, as we've seen already.
Long said that Slater took him to school the first time they met in Long's second year. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Greg Bell to about the 22. Mike Wise on the tackle.
In the league, and Gaston Green being a first-round pick.
Double tight end on 2nd and 6. Pitch to Bell, and he's tripped up by Milt McCall. Milt McCall, the former 49er, who's starting the game in place of Reggie McKenzie, who missed all week's practice. His mother passed away last Saturday, and we send him our condolences, but McKenzie had practiced, couldn't play, and McCall makes a good play to stop Bell. Early minutes here of the second quarter. John Robinson with a smile on his face. Mark Herman substituting for Everett. 3rd down and 4 at the 25, and Herman doesn't like what he sees and calls a timeout.
Some type of...
He has a mild concussion. We don't know whether he'll be back Barr missed a 30-yard field goal after the Raiders presumably scored a touchdown. That was called off because of a holding penalty, and Greg Bell off to a fine start. There's Everett on the sideline. The Rams lead at 7-0. Del Pino is in the backfield. 3rd down and 4 at the 25 for the Rams. Herman's pass and a fine catch by Holohan. Russell Carter making the stop. They will be shy of a first down. They just got inside the 20-yard line. And it'll be 4th down for the Rams. And they're going to bring on Mike Lansford to add to their lead.
Got to give the Raider defense credit on that play. They flooded that side right exactly. They seemed to know where the Rams wanted to go with that ball.
This will be a 37-yard attempt. Lansford so far is 3 for 4. His longest from 46 yards. And Mike Lansford has kicked the 37-yard field goal, but a penalty marker is down. So let's wait. Mike just may have to come back in. And it appears to be against the Raiders.
That'll be a first down then. Penalty, we want those 3 points.
Holding, number 93, defense, declined, 3 points.
He's got the points in the hand. Why take any chances? Greg Townsend was the guilty party, and the Rams now lead the Raiders 10-0. Early here in the second quarter on Mike Lansford's 37-yard field goal. The legal hit. Lansford will kick off, and Tim Brown is back there along with Vance Mueller. It's heading over toward Mueller's side. No surprise. Mueller on the 5. And Mueller with a shoe top tackle is out of bounds at the 22 by Mickey Sutton, and we'll bring you up to date.
Line is a little banged up. They've thrown the ball 9 times and only have rushed it 3.
Tim Brown and Mervin Fernandez are the wide receivers. 1st and 10 at the 22. Steve Berline in there. And the handoff to the first man, Steve Smith. Smith carries it out to the 27-yard line, a gain of about 5. Alvin Wright making the tackle.
We talked with Coach Shanahan on Friday, and he knows that his offensive line is in trouble. He says that his running attack against the Rams today should be more of a finesse type of running attack, one that will feature a draw play or a trap play. They don't feel that they can really sit in there and go toe-to-toe with the Ram front line.
Now you know why John Robinson likes to play power football. He's had the ball more than a 2-to-1 ratio than the Raiders. 2nd and 5 at the 27. Allen out past the 30. He's still short of a first down by a yard and a half. Alvin Wright making the stop. Marcus Allen, and of course the one concern that Shanahan told us the other day is worrying about his durability.
When you've carried the ball 50 out of the team's possible 60 rushes going into the 3rd game, you got to feel that they're featuring him at least. But the ace in the hole that Shanahan has coming in a couple of weeks, of course, it's Bo Jackson.
That'll be a nice addition. Right around October the 9th, he paid a visit to the Raider camp when the Kansas City Royals were in town.
Drove up in his limo, picked up his check, and left.
That's the way to do it.
My kind of guy.
3rd and 1 for the Raiders on their own 32. And stopped in his tracks is Marcus Allen by Mel Owens. We've talked about Kevin Green and his pass rushing abilities. Mel Owens very tough against the run. There he is.
This is a stuff job by Mel Owens. He does a great job of forcing from the outside here. His number 58 comes right down the line of scrimmage. Nobody there to block him, and he gets a little bit of help up front from number 99, Alvin Wright.
We're going to have a measurement to see how close the Raiders are to a first down. Did not appear as if Allen had the first down at first glimpse. Ooh. I've never seen anything closer than that.
That's a first down.
Yes, it is. He made it by a millimeter or something like that.
3rd down and a millimeter.
So Berline getting some instructions from Mike Shanahan. Berline, a self-confident guy. You talked about the things that he had that you liked. I know that last week Randy Wright didn't express that much confidence as the quarterback of the Packers, but Berline has always felt that in time he'll be a good man for this team.
Well, and he's very used to adverse situations. He played at Notre Dame where he had quite a few.
First down rushing for the Raiders on the 33-yard line, trailing 10-0. And Allen on the handoff gets maybe a yard, that's all. Marcus Allen coming into the game with 4 touchdowns rushing for the Raiders, and had number 5 called back on that holding penalty early in the game.
I guess Shanahan heard us talking about their play selection so far in the first quarter, and he's come out now with 3 or 4 straight running plays.
We're at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, a beautiful day and a fine crowd. Raiders and Rams. They've met just 5 times, and the Raiders have won 4 of those meetings. Second down and 8. On the 35, Allen joined by Vance Mueller in the backfield. Mueller in the slot. Berline up the middle, and the pass is caught into Ram territory by Mervin Fernandez. 17 yards and a first down. Urban and Johnson on the stop. Big play for the Raiders.
One thing the Raider offensive line is doing is they're giving Berline the time to throw, but this is a good throw right over the middle, just high enough over Eckern's hands into Mervin Fernandez. Fernandez will play a lot today. He has played about 12 plays to Lofton's 12 plays. They want to get him involved in the game. He's a tremendous talent.
Former Canadian Football League star, disappointment last year. First down for the Raiders on the Ram 49. Berline and wide open. Making the catch is Fernandez, still going. 21 yards that time. Johnny Johnson made the play, but one of the Rams had missed it. And that might have been Jerry Gray.
Most definitely Jerry Gray. The play action fake. And we talked a little bit about some of the talent that Fernandez has. This is a fine job of keeping his balance and getting up the field. Jerry Gray missed the tackle there.
Berline has completed 6 of 11 now for 96 yards and a first down for the Raiders on the Ram 27. 7:40 to go in the first half. Steve Smith making Marcus Allen that time out of bounds at about the 25. Pickup of only 2 that time. The Raiders have so many threats. I mean, they've added so much speed, not only with Tim Brown, Willie Gall, and Allen, and I think that the Rams, as good as they are defensively, have to be wary of the firepower the Raider team has.
Whenever you play the Raiders, you know one thing. They are going to make some big plays, both offensively and defensively. They've had a history of it through their years, and they have the talent to get it done on both sides of the ball.
Second down and 7. Berline with time and nearly intercepted. Vance Mueller was the intended receiver, and sitting in great position was Johnny Johnson, the free safety, but he could not hold on as Owens and Giroux put some solid pressure on Steve Berline.
This ball is just overthrown, or it would have been a touchdown, but the reason it's overthrown is it took Mueller a little bit too long to shake Eckern and get down there. The pressure just gets to him at the very end, and you'll notice this is what causes the ball to go high. He really can't step forward and deliver it. He gets a great hit by Mark Giroux.
That'll bring up third down and 7 on the 24 of the Rams. And now Berline will call a timeout. As good a time as any. The Raiders are trailing 10-0, and they have an opportunity here. So Berline feels it's worth it to waste the first timeout. 7:29 remaining in the with a mild concussion. Mark Herman took over. The Rams lead is 10-0, and the Raiders have a 3rd and 7 on the Ram 24, trying to get back in the game. Berline, penalty marker down. Berline is down as well. Gary Jeter, who has been the man leading the team in sacks the last several years, was right in there, and a holding call against the Raiders. That's where it's normally thrown. Couldn't hold out the rush.
That's what you call double jeopardy. Easy to refuse this penalty because you get the yardage with the sack.
Holding number 60, offense, penalty decline.
That's
Fourth down.
Rory Graves. Now keep in mind, Jim Lachey was traded for Jay Schrader. And then Don Mosbar moved over to left tackle, and he's out with a sprained ankle. So Rory Graves guilty here.
Rory Graves is number 60 on the left. He's blocking against Wilcher, and this is a takedown. 2 points for Rory Graves. But the problem here is now that forces Barr to kick a very long field goal. That's what really hurts on that play, is getting a sack that takes you out of possible field goal position.
It's a 49-yard attempt. He missed a 30-yard field goal earlier. This time the kick is up, and it is no good, off to the left. So the Raiders had an early opportunity, and then Chris Barr is forced to kick a field goal maybe out of his range, and it remains 7-0 in favor of the Rams with that much time remaining.
You're not going to make a lot of 49-yard field goals. He had enough leg on it, but as anybody that knows playing golf, when you try too hard, you sometimes turn the ball over and hook it to the left, and that's exactly what Barr did on that.
It is still 10-0, and right now we have a moment to remind you about Jim Everett is back at quarterback, and he'll throw it on the first down, and Damone Johnson, the tight end, has it to the 35, gain of about 4. So it'll be the Bears and the Packers. Both of those teams lost this weekend, and then game 2, most of you will see these Rams against the New York Giants. Check your local listings. There they are. Next Sunday, a big doubleheader weekend. CBS. Second down, 5. 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Rams lead the Raiders 10-0. Del Pino gets a couple, loose ball, fumble. And a penalty marker is also down, so a lot to sort out here. We'll wait for the official signal and the call on the penalty.
Holding, offense, decline, first down.
The fumble was recovered by the Raiders, and they declined the penalty. So the Raiders have new life here. Here it is, Del Pino.
Bill Pickel does a nice job of stuff in the center, and then Jerry Robinson comes in, number 57 from the left, and strips the ball out of Del Pino's hands.
There's the loose ball. Anderson is going for it, and the guy under Anderson has it, whoever he is. We'll try to find out who it is. In any event, the Raiders have a first down on the Ram 38-yard line, trailing 10-0. Steve Berline still the quarterback. No sign of Jay Schrader as of yet. Berline with a fake, and down he goes. A fumble. Steve Smith going after it for the Raiders, and he recovered. Mike Wilcher forced the fumble by Berline. He got him from the blind side that time. And a big loss on the play.
Very big loss, about 15 yards it appears. Trying to get the Rams after a turnover, sometimes you go up for the big play. They're going to try Willie Gault on a hook and go, but there's just not enough pass protection, something that's bothered the Raiders since they got rid of Jim Lachey.
Injuries to Mosbar. Brian Holloway also out, and it's hurting him.
And again, it's Mike Wilcher, the designated pass rusher for the Rams, along with Kevin Green.
A loss of 16, and it'll be 2nd and 26. Raiders back in their own 46-yard line. Berline up the middle, and a fine catch by Marcus Allen. Allen out to the 46 of the Rams.
When it's 2nd and long, you sometimes throw the screen pass. This is the middle screen. Good job by Berline looking the defense off, but there's not much running room for Marcus Allen after he makes his catch.
Wilcher on the stop. It'll be 3rd down and 18. Right now, the Raiders have been done in by their offensive line, primarily. They have 4 wide receivers in there right now. from the pocket and sacked again. Gary Jeter for his second sack of the game, back to the 43.
Well, if you can't protect the quarterback, you're not going to get anything done. And the Raiders have gone nowhere but backwards on this drive after they got the fumble recovery.
Fourth down punting. Ellard calls for the fair catch, and he makes it at the 20-yard line. A 35-yard punt, but the Raiders trail 10-0, and the trade Schrader for Lachey doesn't look good right at this moment. Things could change, though, for the Rams, because following the 6 turnovers this year, they have not allowed the opposition to score.
That's a very healthy sign for your football team. That means your defense feels, hey, listen, we can make up for your mistakes. We're going to take care of things. We're going to win ball games for you.
What a breather for the offense. First and 10 Rams on their 21-yard line, leading 10-0. Up the middle is Greg Bell to the 25-yard line, a gain of 4. Other scores: Minnesota beating Chicago. Most of these are finals. We have several games still underway. In our game, Greg Bell went over from 6 yards out to give the Rams a 7-0 lead in the first quarter when they went 80 yards on 11 plays. Mike Lansford has kicked a 37-yard field goal to account for the scoring. Second and 6 at the 25. Here's Gaston Green. And the UCLA rookie gets maybe a yard on the play. Jerry Robinson on the stop. Other scores: 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half. McGee and Del Pino are the setbacks as Bell gets a breather along with Green. Everett's pass is caught by Del Pino. Good catch, but he's shy of a first down by a couple of yards. Dennis Price making the stop. And that'll bring up fourth down, and so Rich Camarillo will come in to kick as you see the time under 3 minutes to go.
Very conservative play calling by the Rams that time. Towards the end of the first half, you'd expect them to open it up and try to move the ball down the field, but they're more concerned with field position at this time.
Tim Brown is back. Let's see if he can return one. A beautiful kick by Camarillo sends Brown back inside his 20. And Tim Brown stopped at the 33-yard line, a 52-yard.
Notice Tim Brown was wearing number 81 there. He had come into camp this year as number 85, but number 85 was now worn by Andy Parker. When you're the third-string tight end and they bring a Heisman Trophy winner in here, that Heisman Trophy winner gets a number.
I suppose. First down at the 32 for the Raiders, trailing 10-0. Marcus Allen, penalty marker down as Allen fires out to the 37-yard line. Carl Eckert and Vince Newsom on the stop.
Pretty easy to predict what this penalty is going to be. Thrown by the umpire at the offensive line.
You know, Jay Schrader may and probably will see action, I would think, in this game. Although we don't know for sure, but the problem's been the offensive line.
Yeah, Berline.
Number 51, offense, still first down.
Bill Lewis, the center, but Berline, as he pointed out,
he's playing pretty well. He's completed 7 of 13 for 105 yards. He has not got because they're having a tremendously hard time of blocking the Ram front line.
First down 20 for the Raiders on the 22. Steve Smith to the 26-27-yard line. We wind down to our 2-minute warning. Sean Miller making the tackle. So a 2-minute warning is upon us and a timeout here at the Coliseum. There's nothing and no accident why the Rams are 2-0. They were 0-2 at the start of last year. Their defense looks terrific.
You know, and they're playing solid football. They're making sure they're not making any mistakes, both offensively and defensively. But I'm really impressed with the way their linebackers are controlling the game. They've got 5 guys that they like to play a lot, and the Raiders are really outmanned up front.
That's, as you mentioned, that's where Lachey might have done something for him. But second down and 15. Berline with a design rollout being chased. Fires incomplete. And Urban with a fine defensive play knocking the ball away from Willie Gault.
This is a wonderful job by Leroy Irvin, closing as the ball is in the air and making sure he doesn't interfere. This is oftentimes called, but that left hand comes in just at the right time to knock the ball away. And you notice his right arm did not wrap Willie up. That's where the call is usually made. It's always that backhand.
Tim Brown, Willie Gault, and James Lofton, the three wide receivers here. By the way, Kevin Green chased Beuerlein down. So pretty good bullet on that pass. 3rd down and 15 for the Raiders on their 27. And the pass is caught. Beuerlein with time hits James Lofton. A 27-yard gain and a first down into Ram territory at the 46. And a timeout called by the Raiders.
This is a wonderful throw. Look at the depth that the linebackers have, and Beuerlein doesn't have a whole big hole to throw that ball in there, but he did it, and Lofton made the grab. Now what we'll see is how are the Raiders going to handle the last minute and 38 seconds here. They've had trouble at this part of the field.
There's Tim Brown.
Well, Tim Brown, we saw last year in the Cotton Bowl that somebody swiped his towel. He's going to make sure that nobody steals it this time. If I'm a defensive back, I see a guy running with a towel, I know he's not going to be the receiver on the play.
Now, if the guy had 2 towels in, you certainly wouldn't run to him. One in each
Maybe he
hand.
was bringing the towel to Lofton to congratulate him and towel him down.
The Raiders have 1 timeout remaining. And that's our time, 1:38. They have a first down on the 46. Keep in mind, Barr has missed field goals from 30 and 49 yards. So in order to get on the board, they're going to have to get pretty deep into Ram territory.
And they showed a lack of confidence in Barr early in the game when they decided to go for the touchdown.
On the 46 of the Rams, first down. Beuerlein. Lofton, the intended receiver, and Johnny Johnson was covering. And Lofton slow getting up.
Big hit by Johnny Johnson on Lofton. This play was doomed from the start. Beuerlein didn't have a whole lot of pass protection. You even get a little grass in your helmet when you get that hit that hard.
You know, people think those crossing patterns are the dangerous ones. This is also a tough one.
They call this the dead area of the football field, or the zone, and now you know why. You get hit like that, you may be dead.
The Raiders have used their last timeout. Another angle of the Johnson-Lofton collision. That sounds like an anchor team on the local news, but
Johnson anchored Lofton that time, that's for sure.
Lofton has caught 2 passes today for 55 yards. One early and just a little while ago, and now he is shaken up. Mervin Fernandez will replace him. Johnny Johnson, a hard hitter, as is Vince Newsom. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 46 of the Rams. No more timeouts for the Raiders, who trail 10-0. Beuerlein has some time, completes to Allen, and he'll step out of bounds and stop the clock with 1:26 to go. He is just a yard shy of the first down at the 37. Michael Stewart was there.
It really appeared that Allen could have got that first down as they work on Lofton on the sidelines, but he elected to step out of bounds, knowing that it was 3rd down coming up.
They are still well far away from any field goal possibility, so Beuerlein would have to really, just get the first down and hurry up and drill the ball and pass and get it close in with 1:26 to go with no timeouts left.
A lot of time left, though. They have a short field to work with.
Penalty marker down. We may have a legal procedure. Rory Graves, the left tackle, might have moved.
False start, number 60, offense. Still 3rd down.
Not only did Rory Graves move, but Beuerlein, knowing that the play is a quarterback draw, he moves a little bit early too. There you see the both of them. Beuerlein's a little anxious. He knew that his number was called. He wanted to get that ball and get that first down.
Ironically about Rory Graves, he was out of Ohio State and played tackle at Ohio State when Jim Lachey was a guard. How ironic things are. Now Graves is trying to fill a very big pair of shoes with Lachey going to Washington. 3rd down and 6 following the penalty on the 42 of the Rams. Berline will run it, and close to the first down. He may be shy. Clock continues to run. Michael Stewart on the stop. And now we'll have a officials timeout with 1:15 showing. John Robinson is yelling.
Seconds to go.
And 2 timeouts. 4th down and less than a yard. Berline with this quarterback sneak appears to have the first down at the 35. 1:07 showing right now, but they're going to start that clock pretty soon. It is a first down for the Raiders. They're lining up without a huddle. Now the clock starts. They're on the 35, and Berline will stop it right there. And a chance to get his bearings with 1:01 showing. 10-0 the Rams lead, and keep in mind Barr has not shown the kicker's foot today, and you wonder whether Berline needs the touchdown to get any points for the Raiders. Lofton had his bell rung. They don't know when James will be back. Jim Everett went out earlier with a mild concussion, and he came back.
That's a problem with head injuries, concussions, is you don't really know when you're feeling okay again, because your mind is sending all different types of signals to the rest of your body.
2nd down 10. Berline. He's got Fernandez to the 15-yard line. Clock continues to run, under a minute to go. A 15-yard pickup. Newsome and Gray defending on the play, and the Raiders rush to the line.
When he's got time to throw, Dick, he's throwing the ball well.
Berline on 1st down has Allen, and he's out of bounds at the 11-yard line to stop the clock. He only got 4 that time, but the clock grounds to a halt with 35 seconds to go. Michael Stewart defends, but a chance to get back in the game. 2nd and 6 on the 11. Berline on the quarterback draw, and it fizzles. The clock stops at 30 seconds. Johnny Johnson and Mel Owens combine to wrap them up. Now they'll start it. It'll be 3rd down. Some of the fancy plays have fizzled for the Raiders today. The shuffle pass and the quarterback draw. Berline, incomplete. Galt, the intended receiver, and he's rushing things now.
Yeah, that's a tough play for Berline. He gets a quarterback draw play call that this situation is not a good call. You got to throw the ball twice in the end zone if you're thinking about getting points. Now they're forced to kick a field goal, and we've seen what has happened with Chris Barr today.
He has missed from the 30 and the 49. This will be his best kick yard-wise. It'll be a 28-yard attempt. But on the year, he is 1 for 5. 19 seconds to go. Interesting that Tim Brown and Todd Christensen have not caught passes today. And Barr's kick is good. So the Raiders finally score.
15 seconds remaining in the first half of play.
And the Rams lead is cut to 10-3. Just 15 seconds remaining in the first. Chris Barr will kick off, and he's got Gaston Green and Robert Del Pino back for the Rams. They kick it on the ground. And it's picked up by Mike McDonald, who played under John Robinson at USC and is their kick snapper. 9 seconds to go.
Mike McDonald's a great story. That's all he does basically is play on special teams, and the most important thing he does is that long snap, and Coach Robinson says he's the best he's ever seen doing that.
There's Jim Everett with 9 seconds to go. The ball is on the Rams 42. Pointed out that Tim Brown and Todd Christensen had not caught a pass, but Mervin Fernandez has caught 3 for 58, and he's had a big game.
And Lofton's looked good at catching a few over the middle also.
They have 3 wide receivers to the right. They're covered. Everett throws it away with no time left. And that'll do it. That is the end of the first half here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. With the score, the LA Rams 10, the LA Raiders. Fernandez out of the Canadian League who the Raiders feel has a lot of potential. He hasn't delivered yet, but really hasn't had much of a chance to show what he could do.
They feel that he is one of the most underrated. Here's a guy that has had a fine career for the Raiders, and he's still kind of finding his way with this new offense. He's not the featured guy as he was before, but he still has the ability to get open, especially against man coverage. Todd Christensen.
Yeah. Christensen caught 80 or more passes for 4 straight years, and now with all the threats they have on the team, he's maybe down on the totem pole a bit.
And you would think he would draw a lot of single coverage and be getting open more often, but that's not been the case.
Tim Brown is on the left and Vance Mueller on the right as Mike Lansford gets set to kick off to start the second half. And Jay Schroeder still has the baseball cap on the sidelines. So Berline will be the man again. Lansford kicking off. And it's taken by Tim Brown. Runs into a crowd of white shirts and is stopped at the 26-yard line by Brett Farinez. So Tim Brown hasn't been able to run much and on the kick returns. Both
people like Tim Brown.
1st and 10 at the 26 for the Raiders. Marcus Allen and Steve Smith are the setbacks. And it's Marcus Allen. Dives close to the 35-yard line. Vince Newsom, the strong safety on the stop. Marcus Allen gained 16 yards on 5 carries. In the first half, his longest gain was 5 yards.
He's so dangerous, though. There's just, you can never relax when you've got a player on that other side of the ball like a Marcus Allen.
He gained 8 yards on that play, 2nd down and 2, so that was his longest rush from scrimmage. Ball at the Raider 34. Let's see if the stutter count forced the Rams to go offside. Allen carries it out and would have the 1st down. Let's see what the penalty is all about. Dick Jorgensen is our official today. Alvin Wright made the tackle. And that stutter count, which you heard, effectively.
Offsides, number 99,
Alvin
defense,
Wright.
Decline.
They decline it, and it's a 1st down for the Raiders.
That's got to drive defensive coaches crazy. Alvin Wright is the nose tackle. He's the closest man on the entire defense to the ball. It's right under his nose.
And for that, Mr. Wright will have to leave the field.
Yeah, they're coming in with Gary Jeter and looks like Fred Stokes to play in some of that little Eagle defense that they used a lot in the first quarter, but not much towards the end of the first half.
2 down linemen and 5 backers, but they're all on the line, most of them. 1st and 10. Steve Smith fumbles. And let's see, the Raiders have recovered. And coming out of the pack with it is James Lofton. A big gain and a fumble and altogether a 40-yard pickup for the Raiders. And I'll tell you, they would have been really depressed if they had lost the ball on this play.
Are we down under? Is this Australian rules football? This ball is crazy. Watch this ball bounce around for looked like about 20 yards or so. Jerry Gray had a shot at it. Leroy Irvin had a shot at it. And it just kicks over to James Lofton. Very heads up by Lofton.
Well, if he can't move the ball, see if he can fumble and advance it. I think there's a rule about it.
The Raiders have done that well in the past, believe me.
Against your Chargers. 1st and 10 on the 21. Raiders trail 10-3. And Charlie Hanna might have jumped off sides for...
Start, number 73, offense, still 1st down.
That's tough getting a penalty when you got the momentum going for your side for maybe the first time in the game.
The entire game, the Raiders, each time they've moved the ball down this part of the field, they make some type of mistake. There's Charlie, number 73, at left guard there, and he steps down a little bit too early.
Penalty story, and the Raiders have borne the blunt of it so far, and the brunt of it, if you want to say. 1st down and 15.
That's easy for you to say, but not only have we had a lot of penalties against the Raiders, but they've also not been able to protect the quarterback in this part of the field. We've had a couple of big sacks.
1st and 15, back to the 26 of the Rams. On the delay, Marcus Allen, and a penalty marker is down at the 23-yard.
Crazy. He loves to score a lot of points, but each time his team's gotten down to this field position, they haven't been able to get many.
1st and 25. Back to the 36-yard line. They're going backwards, the Raiders, trailing 10-3. Berline has Christensen, his first catch of the game, to the tight end. He's down at the 31, a gain of only 5. Carl Eckern and Vince Newsome on the stop. That'll bring up 3rd and long for the Raiders.
Good pass protection as the Rams are in a zone defense. Christensen's on just a little bit of a delay route. The unfortunate thing is it only picked up about 5 yards. They're still faced with 2nd and about 20.
Raiders had penetrated to the 21. They got 21 yards on the run by Smith and 19 more on the fumble yardage. But since then, they've gone in reverse. 2nd and 20 at the 30. Berline with time. Wide open is Marcus. Touchdown. Piece of cake, right?
Well, like you said, he had plenty of time, and when you get time to throw, it's amazing how simple the game becomes. Marcus Allen never quit on his pass route. He beat Mike Wilcher for the touchdown.
And now Chris Barr with a chance to tie the game. Marcus Allen with his first touchdown reception of the year and the 75th of his tremendous career, and Barr's kick is up. It's good. And this crowd, you got to have some Ram fans here, but most of them are Raider supporters, as you might expect. Here it is, wide open, Marcus Allen. Tied up the LA Rams 10-10. And if Steve Berline wants to keep Jay Schroeder at bay, this is the way to do it. A 30-yard pass to Marcus Allen to tie the game. Chris Barr kicking off, and Gaston Green at the goal line returns for the Rams. Green stumbles forward to the 24-yard line. Well, next Saturday, the college football, the Raiders in a few weeks.
A lot of great running backs have come out of Auburn, and Bo may be the best of all of them.
First down, Rams on the 24. Greg Bell and Buford McGee, the running backs. New ball game here at the Coliseum. Bell. The offensive line of the Rams is pushing back the Raiders because Bell had 3 or 4 yards to begin with. Eddie Anderson and Jerry Robinson on the stop. That's what Bell's done today, including scoring the Rams' only touchdown.
Matt, feel it is their strong point.
2nd and 7. Everett. He was going for Henry Ellard, incomplete, and Mike Haynes covering on the play. Bring up to date on the scores. Any of them final? 2nd week in a row, but they won, and that's the main thing. It'll be 3rd and 7 now for the Rams on their own 27. Everett. Incomplete. He was going for Aaron Cox. Buford McGee out of the backfield, and Everett didn't take a deep drop there, and the Raiders put good pressure on him.
Very predictable pass pattern. Again, they're being very conservative with their pass offense, and the momentum has definitely shifted to the Raiders side of the ball.
Atlanta with the big shocker over the 49ers. Meanwhile, Tim Brown goes back to his 35. Rich Camarillo, who has punted well in the few times he has kicked today for the Rams, gets off another good one. He sends Brown back to the 25. Brown up to the 35-yard line. The Rams kick coverage teams have improved dramatically. That was a 48-yard kick by Camarillo as Stewart and Washington combined to bring Tim Brown down.
Make it as difficult as possible for the coaches to replace him. In other words, he's going to have to play awfully well.
1st and 10 on the 35. Raiders with the ball in their own zone. Tie score. Marcus Allen slices off tackle and dives forward close to the 40-yard line. Vince Newsome and Doug Reed combined to make the stop. The Rams, coming into this game, had allowed an average of only 8.5 points in the first 2 games. They've given up 10, which is pretty good still, but we have a lot of time remaining. 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
This is really a step up for the Rams. So as far as their schedule is concerned, they opened up with Green Bay and Detroit. Now they're playing a fine football team in the LA Raiders.
2nd down and 6 on the 39. Allen, second effort, has the first down to the 45. He lost his footing, but not before he got to the first down at the 45. Giroux and Newsome making the stop. What a talented runner Marcus Allen is.
Never gives up, always struggling for an extra yard, and this is not as easy as it may seem. I mean, he goes down almost twice. He's running on 3 legs there, really. His right arm.
Bill Lewis, the center, is shaken up.
Boy, when it rains, it pours, and it's pouring right now on the offensive line of the Los Angeles Raiders. This injury is really a big one.
Marcus Allen and John Robinson.
John Robinson, he told us yesterday, it's not so much coming back to the SC campus or coming back to the LA Coliseum. It's coming back and seeing players that he has coached and followed throughout his career. People like Marcus Allen. Number of Trojans on both teams here today, and John would love to have been able to coach Marcus in the pros.
John Giesick is now the center for the Raiders on 1st and 10. Raiders on their 45, double tight end. Allen gets back to the line of scrimmage. Doug Reed on the stop. The report on Bill Lewis, he has a sprained ankle, and we're not sure whether he will return. There is Lewis. And Giesick, the 10th round pick last year, starting at center. We have a Ram shaken up right now, and it's their nose tackle out
to the Rams.
We talk about the Raider offensive line problems, but the Rams don't have Greg Meisner, who normally is their regular nose tackle. He has a knee injury, and he was inactive for both last week's game and this week, and Meisner hasn't played, and now Wright, their other nose tackle, goes down.
They may be forced to play some more of that linebacker defense, the Eagle.
2nd and 10 at the 45. There's Marcus Allen, split to the right, lower part of the picture. Quick toss. Christensen to the 49-yard line. Short of a first down by about 4 yards. Newsome on the play. We're at the LA Memorial Coliseum as the Raiders and Rams, and the bragging rights, you want to call it, in the Battle of LA. The Rams, of course, playing Anaheim in Orange County. And we have a tie ball game, 10-10 with 8 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Rams had taken a 10-0 lead.
The Raiders haven't filled this stadium up many times. It's great to see all these people filling this great old stadium.
3rd and 4 for the Raiders at the Ram 49. Berline is sacked by Jeter, and that's number 3 for Gary on the day.
Berline wanted to go to Marcus Allen on a little option route coming out of the backfield on the right here, number 32, but Vince Newsome has got him man-to-man, and Allen slips, and there's no place for Berline to go with the ball. Plus, he's got a big number 77 wrapping him up.
That's the 4th sack of the game for 42 yards by the Ram defense. Jeff Gossick goes back. Henry Eller to receive the kick. Lets it bounce, and it takes a Raider roll right at the 20-yard line. And that's where the Rams will take over, a 39-yard kick. Well, next Sunday, 2nd half of the doubleheader, check your local listing. Everett on 1st down. Ellard and Dennis Price lost his footing. I don't know whether he was faked out by Ellard. In any event, Henry has the catch. Good for 16 yards and a 1st down to the 35.
As they say in horse racing, the track is dry and fast.
This is Price's first NFL start. Terry McDaniel, their number 1 pick, is out with a broken leg. 1st and 10 on the 35, Rams. Greg Bell gets 1, and that's all. Howie Long, we haven't mentioned his name much today, makes the stop.
Matt Millen's back in the game, so the Raiders are playing hurt a little bit, but they also know that they're in this ball game. This game is going to come down to a turnover, Dick. I just feel it in my bones that the team that makes the big play is going to win this one.
You know, I feel it in my bones, too, now that you mention it.
Yeah, but your bones haven't been hit as much as mine.
That's the first tackle of the game by Howie Long. Greg Townsend comes in as a pass rusher. 2nd and 8 on the 37. Everett on the run, and Ellard makes a great catch to midfield. Price on the stop. He got turned around, and a 13-yard gainer to Henry Ellard, who has been actually in a slump lately.
This is teamwork. This is a great throw by Everett and a great catch by Ellard as he reaches behind himself and makes the grab. Single coverage, though. Dennis Price, the man beaten again.
Ellard now has caught 5 passes for 71 yards. He's been slowed with an ankle injury and had been in a slump. He's come out of it. 1st and 10 midfield. Everett going up top. And the man he was going for was Willie Anderson, the rookie from UCLA.
Rams? I'm confused.
Leroy Irvin has a calf strain. We don't know if he'll be back. 2nd down 10 at midfield. And once again, Greg Bell and Dan, the Raiders have really closed up against the run in the last quarter or so.
They really have. They're a team that really will accept the challenge. The Rams challenged them in the first quarter when they went 80 yards for a touchdown in about 11 plays. They're not going to let that happen again. For the Rams to be successful, they're going to have to hit some of those long passes.
Rams led 10-0. Greg Bell with a 6-yard touchdown, a Lansford 37-yard field goal. Then in the second quarter, Barr kicked a field goal, and then Allen was on the receiving end of a 30-yard touchdown for the Raiders to tie it up. 3rd and 10 at midfield. 3 wide receivers for the Rams. Everett will have the first down as he scampers out of bounds at the 36-yard line. 14 yards on that play. First down, Rams on the Raider 36. We're tied at 10. Everett swings it out to Bell, and Millen tries for the interception. Milt McCall put quite a rush on Jim Everett, and it'll go as an incomplete pass. There is Alvin Wright. Bruised, they said. And he'll return. He was bent over backwards, you saw a few moments ago, but
this is turning into a bit of a war, Dick. A lot of injuries, a lot of guys playing with a lot of little dings and whatever. They're going to have to use everybody today, both sides.
War of attrition, basically.
Yes, it is. That's the name of the game sometimes.
Ron Fellows has replaced Dennis Price at cornerback for the Raiders on 2nd and 10. Everett up the middle, and a great tackle. Buford McGee might have been off to the races, but Milt McCall made an open field tackle at the 30-yard line. The Raiders.
Everett's nice touch on this ball. It helps out when you're about 6'5" like Jim is. He put that ball right in front of Buford. Buford has good hands, played with him with the Chargers. In fact, I told John Robinson, now that you have Buford McGee and Mark Herman, you got Ernie Zampese. What are you, the Chargers are your farm team or something?
Well, yesterday at practice, I think one of the coaches said, Dan, why don't you suit up and come out and play?
I got a job, Dick. Believe it or not, this is it.
3rd and 4 at the 30-yard line of the Raiders. Everett under siege and down back at the 40. Greg Townsend. Loss of 10 yards. Townsend, with a big game in the opener against San Diego, was nullified by Houston's running backs. Comes in with a big sack right here. And that'll force the Rams to punt.
And it takes them out of field goal position, possible field goal position at least, when you lose 10 yards on a sack like that.
Tim Brown goes deep. Rich Camarillo will kick for the Rams with 3 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Brown will call for the fair catch. And the Rams will keep it in play. Michael Stewart, number 23, and the Raiders will be hemmed in at their own 2-yard ball instead of letting it go.
Well, it bounced on about the 6-yard line. Most coaches will tell their receiver there to let it go if it's going to go inside the 10. That was just a very fortunate bounce for the Rams and an unfortunate bounce for the Raiders.
And Mickey Sutton is in for Leroy Irvin, who is out with the calf sprain. 1st and 10 on the 2 for Berline and the Raiders. Berline wants to get out in a hurry, and a penalty marker is down, and the pass is incomplete. James Lofton covered by Sutton downfield, but a flag is down.
I gotta wonder, Dick, if I've got Willie Galt on one side and James Lofton on the other, and they bring in a cornerback right off the bench, I think I'm gonna have Willie Galt run that fly pattern against him and not James Lofton.
That's why you have Galt. Meanwhile, holding called against the Raiders, half the distance to the goal line.
Guarantee you they'll refuse this. They're not going to gain much by taking it.
No, they won't. The average starting position for the Raiders today has been their own 37-yard line. That's not bad field position for Mike Shanahan. This obviously is worst starting spot.
Holding number 46, offense, decline.
Todd Christensen.
Second down.
That's the fourth holding penalty called against the Raiders today.
That is not a smart penalty either, if there's such a thing. You see Todd at the far left, number 46. Well, he's trying to protect his quarterback. Maybe it was a smart penalty.
You're looking at 2 points.
And those 2 points could be big.
Second down 10 on the 2. Marcus Allen fumbles, and Christensen recovers, I believe, for the Raiders. And he does at the 4-yard line. That would have been disaster for the Raiders had the Rams recovered and run it in.
It's nice to have good athletes on your football team, and Todd Christensen is a good athlete. He sees this ball bounce, and he grabs it on the very first bounce and saves a very disastrous play.
Even if they hadn't run it in, it would have been disaster if the Rams had picked it up. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 at the 4-yard line. Three wide receivers in there for the Raiders, make it 4. Beuerlein is trapped for the safety. And it was Kevin Green. He got tripped up.
I'm not so sure this is a legal play by Kevin Green, because he stuck a foot out and he tripped Beuerlein, and according to the rules, you cannot trip a ball player. Good coverage by the Rams secondary. Good pressure by the Rams front line, but watch as Beuerlein steps up into this pocket. Kevin Green will be from the right side. He'll stick his right foot out right there and knock Beuerlein down for the safety.
It is now 12-10, and when we come back, the Rams will get the ball. Trapping Beuerlein in the end zone. The Rams lead at 12-10. There is Green, who's off to a terrific start this season. And now Jeff Gossett has a free kick for the Raiders. Henry Ellard and Mickey Sutton are back, and it'll be Sutton inside his 20. Sutton with a head of steam barrels his way out to the 42.
Take another look at this. Now, keep in mind where Dick Jorgensen, our referee, is in this picture, because he cannot see Kevin Green sticking his right leg out to make this trip on Beuerlein. Beuerlein thinks he's got room to run here, and there goes, he goes down, and Jorgensen is screened from the play by the tackle, Steve Wright.
5 sacks today by the Rams defense. That one was the biggest. They got points out of it. 1st and 10 at the 42 for the Rams. Del Pino, good acceleration out to the 45-yard line. Matt Millen on the stop. They have a 2nd and 6 on their 46-yard line. Everett's pass is caught in the open field. Damone Johnson, who caught the game-winning touchdown catch against the Lions last week, and that's good for 19 yards. Eddie Anderson on the stop.
Nice play action here. They faked a Bell on the counter play, and Everett just lays it right out there. When you're a defensive back and you see a big guy like Damone Johnson coming at you, you need a little help. They're going to take care of Howie Long again as he gets double team, and Jackie Slater just doing a super job on him.
Rams strength offensive line. 1st and 10 on the Raider 35. Bell trying to protect the ball. Picks up about 3. Duran and Rod Martin on the stop. Kansas City with an upset over Denver this afternoon. Marcus Cook had 4 sacks of Randall Cunningham, and the Giants leading Dallas in the 3rd quarter. San Diego still in front of Seattle. Can you believe that one?
Well, I tell you what, look at this one too, 24-10 San Francisco. But haven't there been an awful lot of safeties? Atlanta actually, 24-10.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, and then what happens? We get one here.
2 or 3 safeties already today in the NFL.
Second down 8 for the Rams on the Raider 33. Under a minute to go, half a minute. Everett. He had a man wide open. Del Pino. Good-looking rookie, and Robinson likes those versatile types who can catch. Good for 14 yards. Millen and Turan.
Pino, what they're trying to do is get him isolated against a linebacker. Damone Johnson is the tight end on the inside, and he occupies 2 of the Raiders, and they don't get the coverage over to Del Pino. Looked like Matt Millen may have been.
Gaston Green is in there. First down 10. Here's Green. And a fine play by Rod Martin. And a fumble. Nope. No, he was down. Rod Martin started a run off the field. The ball was blown dead at the 20-yard line with 4 seconds remaining.
Nice tackle by Martin, but the rule says that the ground cannot force a fumble. Very obvious that the ball hit the ground. Once that happens, the ball is considered dead, and there's no fumble.
And that is the end of the third quarter here at the Coliseum with the score. The LA Rams 12, the Los Angeles lead are threatening. Second down and 11 at the Raider 20-yard line. Raiders had fought back from a 10-0 deficit, and if they give up a touchdown here, it's virtually what they had to come back from before. Everett. And he's sacked by Greg Townsend. That's the second on the game for Greg. Third for the Raiders. Irv Pankey is shaken up. A loss of 8 on that play.
On the left now, he's going to go down with some type of injury. It's again another one of those get hit low and get bent over backwards. Hate to see that with the big fellas because they have all that weight that they're carrying on those.
3 wide receivers for the Rams on 3rd and 19. They're at the Raider 28. Pressure on Everett. Coming back is Ellard, but it's out of bounds. And Ron Fellows covering on the play. It will be 4th down. And Mike Lansford will come in to kick. Well, that was a good defensive sequence there for the Raiders when it looked like the Rams were going to storm in and try to make their lead 9 points.
Sacks are such a momentum turner in this football game, any football game. When you sack the quarterback, you really give a tremendous lift to your team and hurt your opponent.
This is a 46-yard field goal attempt. 46 yards. He's made good from 46 this year. Lansford. Kick is long enough, and the kick is good. So Mike Lansford, with his second field goal of the game, has given the LA Rams a 5-point lead. We'll be back. It's the first quarter, but the Rams with great defense, 5 sacks, and the safety, along with the field goal right now by Mike Lansford, has set the game 15-10 in the fourth quarter, early with 14:34. And there's no question that Steve Berline has enough confidence to bring this team back.
Well, there's a lot of time, Dick. When he has had the time to throw today, he has thrown the ball extremely well. The biggest problem, of course, when you see those 5 sacks is when's he going to have the time to throw? But there's 14 and a half minutes to go in this game. They're only down by 5 points. This game is anybody's game, but you got to go out and take it. The Raiders have got to do something positive to start this drive.
This is where Willie Gault could come into play for the Raiders. He has caught just 1 pass today. Lansford kicking off to Tim Brown at the 12. Brown with some speed. Runs into the Ram defense at the 36-yard line. Larry Kelm making the stop for the Rams. There's Kelm. Want to remind you, next Sunday on CBS, the NFL Today starts it off 12:30 Eastern. Chicago and Green Bay, our feature first game. Most of you will see the Rams and the Giants in the nightcap. Some of you will catch the 49ers and the Seahawks. Check your local listing. 1st and 10 at the 36 for the Raiders. Mervin Fernandez in the game at wide receiver. And the pass to Willie Gault is incomplete. Broken up by Johnny Johnson. So they go to the meal ticket right away.
I don't think they were listening to you. I mean, what do you know about football, Dick? I mean, they go right to the man you talked about. Willie Gault on an in route. Johnny Johnson really closes well on this ball and makes it very difficult for Willie to make this catch. But you got to go to Willie Gault in this situation. He was only throwing one ball in the first half. Basically, the first play of the game was a completion.
Well, he caught one, but he dropped one in the end zone, and he's also dropped one here. So let's see if they keep going back. Penalty marks down. See whether Steve Wright, the right tackle, would move. Let's wait and see. Is Beuerlein getting up? It's a false start.
False start, number 66. Offense, 5 yards, still second down.
The offensive line really
struggling. Really struggling in a lot of things. You see it come up in this is about the third or fourth false start they've had. They've had a number of holding penalties. They haven't been able to protect their quarterback when he's in the end zone, and they've also had given up 5 or 6 sacks. So the Raider offensive line is struggling at this point, and they have got to make the plays for Beuerlein to throw the ball down the field.
Second down and 15 for the Raiders on their 31. Beuerlein chased by Green. Now Jeter. And Jeter knocks him down with one arm. And Gary Jeter with his 4th sack of the ball game. And right now, for an NFL Today report, here's Brent Musburger in New York.
4 sacks for Jeter today. He'll never get an easier one.
6 sacks in all by the Rams for 49 yards worth of losses. Third down and 18. Beuerlein's pass is caught by Christensen at the 40. Mel Owens making the stop, and a sensational catch with contact by Christensen and a gain of 12. And penalty marker down, and it's against the Rams.
The good news is it's against the Rams. The bad news is it only gives them 5 yards. They're still faced in a 3rd and long passing situation.
Beuerlein goes to the sideline to talk to Mike Shanahan. See what the Raiders have up their sleeve with 13:37 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Offside, number 91. Defense lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards, still third down.
Kevin Green sees Jeter getting all those 4 sacks today. He says, I want to get into the act a little more myself.
I talked to him yesterday, and I said, what about your job? What do you like most about it? He says, well, I got one job and one job only. Kill the quarterback. I said, thank you very much. I'll see you later.
And he kind of clammed up on us after that, didn't he? 3rd and 13 for the Raiders on the 33. They got 4 men going out for passes. Beuerlein up the middle. Incomplete. That was Lofton, the intended receiver, a little short on the throw. Anthony Newman covering on the play.
Beuerlein's been under pressure all day long. Look at this. 5 sacks, 7 hurries, fumbles, batted balls, everything. But that's all part of becoming a quarterback in the NFL. You got to go through all of this, and now we got another flag on the play.
Illegal formation, number 66. Back too far. Decline.
Steve Wright.
4th down.
Boy, look at the problems they're having, particularly with the tackles. Mostly it's been Graves and Wright for the Raiders today. Gossett will punt. Henry Ellard is back. He'll call for the fair catch at the 30.
All right, let's go, D.
And with 13 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter, the Raiders trailing the Rams 15-10, and the Rams, I wouldn't be surprised if they go into one of their ball control acts right now, trying to keep the ball on the ground and using as much time. Throw.
And they've done well playing run all the way in the second half.
Greg Bell off the left side. Eddie Anderson with a hard tackle and club, is helped along by Howie Long.
One thing when you play against the Ram offense, their backs are always looking for the cutback. So when you pursue on defense, you don't quite go as fast. You're looking for that back to come back to you, actually, on the cutback. And the Raiders have done a good job of containing Bell since the first quarter.
75 yards for Bell overall with 16 carries and a touchdown. Atlanta leading 31-10. I said, don't discount the 49ers, but sooner or later they'll have to. 2nd and 5 at the 35. Here's Bell again. Bell comes up empty, maybe a yard, that's all. Howie Long on the stop. Last week, Long returned an interception 73 yards against the Houston Oilers, the longest ever interception returned by a Raider defensive lineman.
Howie told us on Friday that this is really a focus year for survival around here for a lot of the veterans, and especially him in particular, because he hasn't played as well as he has in the past. The last couple of years, he's had a lot of little injuries. This year, he's come out and really have played well so far this year.
Let's see with the new coaching staff. 3rd down and 3 at the 37. Everett, and nearly picked off, intended for Holohan, and Russell Carter, the former New York Jet, if he had held on, might have been off into the end zone.
Everett just throws this ball behind Holohan, throwing off his back foot, which is going to hurt you if you do that, because the ball loses some of its impetus getting to the receiver.
Rich Camarillo will kick. Tim Brown, always a threat, back standing on his 25. Another good kick by Camarillo sends Brown back inside the 10. Can't find a handle. And is buried inside the 10. That was a 54-yard kick, and one of the heroes, if the Rams win this game, Dan, has to be Rich Camarillo. One of those kicks also landed on the 2, and they capitalized.
Wonderful punt, 54-yarder, and what happens to Timmy Brown is he knows that he's got a long way to go once he catches it, and he drops it, loses a little bit of concentration. He had a long run for the ball, but Camarillo has just punted the ball very, very well. Reminds me of when he was back with the Patriots, played in a Pro Bowl with them, as a matter of fact.
He's having a Pro Bowl day. 1st and 10 on the 9 for the Raiders. .11:23 to go. Marcus Allen out to about the 13-yard line. Plenty of time remaining. Carl Eckern makes the tackle. Gorgeous day at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts. The LA Rams and LA Raiders. Rams came in at 2-0. They had a 10-0 lead. Raiders tied it up, and since then a safety and a field goal have given the Rams a 5-point lead.
We talked about Camarillo. He's averaging about 45.5 yards a punt.
Ooh. Heavy numbers. 2nd and 5 on the 14. Berline has Allen. Fumbles. Now they say it's incomplete. He did not have possession. He juggled the ball. So it'll go as an incomplete pass and bring up 3rd down.
Well, we'll see if the instant replay officials are going to take a look at this one. The referee was pretty decisive, though, when he called it. He had a great view of it. Marcus never really had it. Marcus Allen there, and it's knocked away by Jerry Gray.
3rd down. The Red Sox beating the Yankees. Good news for Boston fans. And Detroit losing to Baltimore 2-0. And the Red Sox with serious gains today, en route to what they hope will be an American League Eastern title.
Well, it appears that the instant replay official is going to take a look at it.
We set the game clock on 10:34. 10:34.
It's a 10:24, and they want to add 10 seconds to the clock.
Took them 10 seconds to recover the apparent fumble there, but they'll get that squared away, and we'll get back underway.
Berline has missed the mark on his last 4 passes, but he has had a fine game this afternoon. He has had to watch out, and he has to be flinching now with all the pressure put on by the Ram defense. 50% of his completions today. 3rd and 5 again at the 14. Berline gets thrown down, and it's a sack. Inside, they'll mark it to 6. Mel Owens that time. He had a sack against the Lions last week, which equaled his last year's total, so now he's ahead of that.
There's going to be a lot of money made on incentive clauses today in that defensive line. They're all over Beuerlein, going through the Raider line like it's not even there.
Loss of 8.
Another one-handed sack for the Raiders.
Henry Ellard will give the Rams good field position, but he's going to let it roll, and they still have it as it dies down on the Rams 46. 48-yard kick. Boy, I tell you, those aren't tickets. He's let in the gate. 1st and 10 at the 46 for the Rams. Good field position in their own territory. Bell fights his way into Raider territory to the 49-yard line. Gain of 5. Jerry Robinson and Matt Millen on the stop. You know, Magic can just stand on the sidelines and get 10 assists. That's how easy it is for him.
I know one thing. He's never had to put up with pressure, physical pressure, like Steve Beuerlein's seen today.
No. That's what Bell has done from half to half, but the fact is that the Rams are winning, and he's done his job today.
Well, and the Rams have 49 yards to go for a touchdown, and if I'm a betting man, I'm betting that Greg Bell's going to see the ball a lot.
But we know you're not, so. 2nd and 5, Everett. And the pass is caught by Robert Del Pino. Rod Martin knocks him out of bounds. Short of a first down by a good yard. Del Pino, a fine-looking rookie from Missouri, the number 5 pick. So they have Green and Del Pino backing up their starters.
We're seeing a nice blend of the pass and run, something that Ram fans haven't seen a lot of in the past. John Robinson told us that the fact that he has this new offense now with Ernie Zampese to go with the great rushing attack of the Rams, that he doesn't feel like he has one hand tied behind his back. He's got a quarterback, he's got people that can catch the ball, and he's confident that they can move it through the air.
3rd down and 1. Turning around a little late was Del Pino. He is claiming that McCall had held him. The officials don't agree, and it'll be 4th down, and Camarillo will come in to perform his magic, the Rams hope again.
That's a questionable call for a lot of Ram fans to see the Rams throwing the ball on 3rd and 1. Shows you the type of respect that Coach Robinson has for the Raider front line.
Camarillo with a gaudy average, including 2 kicks inside the 10. Last time, Tim Brown had trouble handling the punt.
Well, he is looking directly back into the sun.
15-10, the Rams lead the Raiders. That's a good kick, and a fair catch called for by Brown inside the 15, and he makes the catch at the 12-yard line. 33-yard kick, but no return, and he's got him inside the 15. He'll take that all the time.
Nice concentration, Michael Stewart of the Rams.
First down, Raiders on their 12. 9:19 remaining in the 4th quarter. Allen, 3 yards to the 15. Kevin Green was there. Giants and Dallas in the 4th quarter. Giants leading by 2.
How about the Chargers?
Yeah.
That is a major upset, and this is another major upset.
And Kansas City upset Denver today, and the Jets upset Houston. What about Minnesota? Of course, Minnesota, a lot of people picked to win the NFC Central, and they trounced the Bears 31-7. 2nd down, 7 for the Raiders on the 15. And another sack. Down goes Beuerlein, and Owens has his 2nd of the game. And Owens has a few words for good measure to Steve Beuerlein. That was a loss of 9. Back to the 6.
As an old quarterback, I hate to see this, but there's nothing that Steve Beuerlein can do. He just gets his feet underneath him, and he gets knocked off his feet.
But for Fritz Shurmur, this is a beautiful work of art today by the Rams defense.
Well, his linebackers really give him a defense that reduces their predictability, something that Rams have been guilty of in the past.
3rd down and 16 as the Raiders go back to their own 6-yard line. Beuerlein in the end zone. And Christensen makes a fine catch and gets him out of trouble. First down, just shy of the 30. Eckern on the stop.
Fine catch and throw. Notice how Beuerlein will look to the left here. He knows where he wants to go with his ball all the way. He's just trying to move a safety out of the way and a linebacker, and then Christensen goes high to make the grab.
22-yard gain, and for a guy who was shut out in the first half, Dan, Todd Christensen has come back to catch 3 balls and tough catches at that for 34 yards.
He's really a competitor.
First down at the 28. Beuerlein, penalty marker down, and Marcus Allen driven down hard by Vince Newsome. But a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Don't tell me another holding call?
That's a good guess. It's either a holding penalty or a sack. Take your pick. Oh, there we go. We got a new one. That's an illegal chop block.
Against the Raiders, which is not a new one. Well, when they write this game up, if the Rams hold their lead and it's 5 points, which is a touchdown away from a Raider lead, they'll talk about the offensive line not doing the job for the Raiders today.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, chop block, left guard and left tackle, offense 15 yards, still first down.
That's Graves and Hanna.
And that's 15 yards, not 10 yards, 15. We'll take a look at it on the right side of the screen. Hanna and Graves are going to do a little job on Mr. Jeter. Jeter's been in there for 4 or 5 sacks today. That's how you take care of a guy that's giving your quarterback problems. We have a cheap shot, actually.
You know, Dan, we have seen, you know, the other wasn't illegal, but with Wright and then with Pankey, we have seen similar kind of plays.
We're very lucky that we haven't had a major knee injury today.
First down and 24. Raiders on their own 14. 4 wide receivers. Beuerlein. Christensen, does he hold on to it? And they say he does. Another outstanding catch by Todd Christensen again for 22 yards.
This is a carbon copy. Again, notice Beuerlein looking to his left. He knows he's going to go to Christensen down the zone. He gets the defense he wants. Again, he throws it high. This time, Todd has to juggle a little bit before he makes a catch, but that was a carbon copy.
Tell Beuerlein, what do you think on Magic Johnson? What kind of throws are these? But he makes them.
He'll take it. He'll take it. 2nd and 1 or 2.
Jerry Gray made the stop, and it'll be 2nd and 2 at the 36. Winding down to 6 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. The Rams lead 15-10. Here's Allen. And Allen has the first down up to the 40-yard line. Eckern on the stop. There's the time remaining in the 4th quarter. Although you would think, if you were just taking glances throughout this game, that the Rams have dominated so much that you might think they'd be up by 3 touchdowns.
Beuerlein continues to make the big play, especially in this drive. Twice he's collaborated with Todd Christensen in the zones, and that's the type of play that you got to have. This is a long drive to go for the winning touchdown, but they're still in it.
Doesn't it appear as if the Rams have just had all the things going their way?
They really have, but they only lead by 5.
First down on the 40. Raiders in their own territory. Marcus Allen picks up 3-4 yards on that play. Owens and Eckern on the stop. Beuerlein today has completed 16 of 30 passes for 251 yards, but he's 2 for 2 in this drive, both of them to his tight end, Todd Christensen.
And both of them were complete in situations that were very difficult, long yardage situations.
In the neutral zone, 5 yards, still first down.
Penalty, the Rams, Kevin Green, who was at the top of your picture when the play started, was in the neutral zone. It's still 1st and 5 at the 45.
Referees are going to have to go home and ice their arms tonight from throwing all these penalty flags.
Like a pitcher who goes 12 innings, right?
Or an old quarterback.
Yeah. Excuse me. Raiders on their 45. 4:50 remaining in the 4th quarter. Vance Mueller went in motion to the left. Beuerlein lost it, and it is intercepted by Johnny Johnson. The Raiders are claiming that Johnson trapped the ball. That's a 22-yard return by Johnny Johnson.
And we're going to get a review of this play, Dick. The umpire is talking to the referee about whether they're looking at it. Actually, a penalty
42
flag.
offense, decline. First down.
Penalty was against Mueller. Here's Christensen. He was the intended receiver.
And here's the possible trap. Now that picture's inconclusive. It appeared, though, that he had his elbow at least underneath the ball. Here's another angle of it. You'll never be able to tell from that angle, but the only angle that counts are these guys down there in the striped shirts.
The Rams quickly come out of their huddle, but the officials are checking. Bill Swanson is the replay official today, and Bill Granholm is our communicator. And they will be communicating with the umpire.
And it's going to be very difficult for them from those two angles, and those are the two angles that they'll be looking at.
They have we understand that they have the original shot, which you haven't seen. You've seen the two replay angles. Our live shot as it happened.
I got to believe that that left arm is underneath, or the ball would have stayed down. He made the catch awfully easily, and we'll have to wait and see how they. Here is the live shot.
After review by replay, it is an interception, but the receiver was down by contact on the 45-yard line. First and 10 on the 45.
So the interception sticks. Johnny Johnson with his second of the year and the sixth of the year by the Rams, but he was down, so nullify the return. In any event, the Rams will have the ball on their 45.
What that ruling does is that keeps the Raiders in this ball game. If they had allowed the return of that interception, it would have put the Rams in field goal position to possibly go up by 8 points. Now the Rams have got to earn that field goal position. They've got to move the ball about 25, 30 yards.
First and 10 on their own 45 with 4:34 remaining, fourth quarter, leading by 5. Greg Bell, penalty marker down, and he gets to the 49, and that flag from the familiar umpire spot could indicate, and it does, another holding penalty, but this time it's against the Rams. 1,870, that's the sixth largest crowd in the Raiders' regular season history. So they came out in force today.
That's good to see.
First and 20 for the Rams, back to the 35. Here's the time. Everett's throw is thrown away. Henry Ellard was the receiver. Haynes covering on the play, and yet another flag is down, and another holding call against the Rams. That's 2 in a row.
Well, that'll bring up the all-important first and 30 call, and I'm not sure I know what to call here. Unbelievable.
We have had 9 holding penalties today. Favorite first and 30, back to the 25-yard line. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Rams by 5. Bell looking for room. Bell is down after a gain of 1.5 yards by Jerry Robinson and Russell Carter. Well, now the Rams, you know, are going to use as much time as they can, but keep in mind that the Raiders still have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, as do the Rams.
And this is where the new 45-second clock comes into play. The Rams can take their time and take more time off the clock because they have those 15 extra seconds.
And they're doing just that, and 20 seconds are showing on that 45-second clock as you see it there.
I know John Robinson would be very, very happy to just run 2 more plays and let Rich Camarillo hit another 45-yarder.
And take their chances.
You bet, with the field position against the Raiders.
Second down and 26. They run it with 3 seconds on the clock, and Greg Bell breaks a tackle or 2. And he'll have a first, 10 yards shy. Check it. He brings it out to the 45. Anderson and Turan make on 20 carries. Second straight 100-yard game. He had 139 against Detroit a week ago. He goes out. Buford McGee replaces him. 3rd and 9 for Everett. Everett gone deep. Wide open is Cox. Touchdown Rams. Cox beats Ron Fellows for the score. The rookie from Arizona State, and an immediate starter when he joined the club with his first catch of the day, 54 yards for the big touchdown.
The Rams staff told us all week long that they wanted to throw the ball up the field. This is the first completion up the field. Couldn't come at a better time. What's he got him beat by about 10 yards? Ball's right on the money, 6 points.
His first NFL TD, and one he'll always remember, Aaron Cox. And the Rams lead it 21-10. Mike Lansford. What about Everett's throw? Here's Lansford.
I'll take it every time.
Flags are down, and the kick is good. Kick by Lansford is good. 22-10, pending the call.
It's almost as if the officials have a spring in their penalty flag. They stuff it in their pocket, and boing, it bounces right back out.
Game-breaking touchdown by the Rams right here. "60 Minutes follows, except on the West Coast, coming up next on CBS.
Encroachment number 55, defense, whistle dead before the snap. Retry.
Matt Millen. Everett came out of the game earlier with a mild concussion, but he has come on and hit the big play of the ball game to Aaron Cox.
Cox is really not their deep threat either, Dick. They like to throw the ball deep to Flipper Anderson, but he was deep that time.
Well, one thing you know, that Everett is going to be blessed with good receivers. Cox, Anderson, Henry Ellard, as he develops with the Rams, and they like their team. They have 3 #1 picks next year.
They really have gotten healthy in a hurry based on that Eric Dickerson trade.
They're going to kick this one again. Mike Lansford, who's had a big day today with 2 field goals, including a 46-yard shot. And it's 22-10 with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Game-breaking touchdown pass by Everett to this man, Aaron Cox.
Rams 22, the Los Angeles Raiders 10. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder of all the Raider post-game activities. This is on KFI Radio AM 640 with Bill King, Rick Ferrara, and Chris Roberts. Stay tuned to 50,000 KFI Radio Home of the Los Angeles Raiders. And please don't say anyway, this is not it. We'll see you here in 2 weeks when the Raiders host the Cincinnati Bengals. Be sure to join us for the Raiders-Bengals game on October 2nd. We kick off set for 1 p.m. Thank you.
Because there was a 5-yard encroachment foul before the snap, that 5 yards goes on the kickoff. We'll kick off from the 40-yard line.
Well, that's very complimentary.
Yeah.
Just go outside of the 14 in the West End, or by the Olympic statues outside the Paris Style End. A service vehicle will be available to assist you at no charge. The compliments of our Raiders and the Yamaha Motor Club. Thank you.
We're back here at the Coliseum with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the game, with the Rams leading 22-10. And Mike Lansford will kick off from the 40-yard line following that penalty on the conversion. Timmy Brown is back inside the 5-yard line. Vance Mueller is nearby in case they kick his way. 54-yard touchdown pass from Jim Everett to Aaron Cox has broken this one wide open in the latter stages. They kick it on the ground. Picked up at the 25-yard line by Russell Carter. And Carter is down at the 36-yard line. Well, the Rams have 12 takeaways this season, and they have scored 34 points this year. On top of that, they went into the game, Dan, leading the NFL with 12 quarterback sacks, and they had picked up 8 today, so 20 will give them the lead by a huge margin.
And that lead may never be surrendered. That's a fantastic stat. 8 sacks in one day. I don't know if that's an NFL record, but it's got to be close.
4 by Gary Jeter. 2:06 to go. Timeouts remaining. Rams are in a prevent defense. Beuerlein on first down completes the pass to Lofton. And they're in Ram territory, but the clock continues to run, and now it stops with our 2-minute warning. An 18-yard pickup with Mickey Sutton on the stop. And we'll take a break right here and be back to the Coliseum after these messages. Back here at the Coliseum, the 2-minute warning in effect right now. The LA Rams leading the LA Raiders 22-10. In a big day of upsets today, San Diego has shocked Seattle, their first loss. Denver beaten today. Houston lost. The Giants clinging to a 2-point lead over the Cowboys in the fourth quarter. The Raiders have a first down on the Ram 45. They need 2 touchdowns. And nearly an interception by Mickey Sutton on the pass intended for Todd Christensen.
Mickey Sutton has had to play for Leroy Irvin, and he is right in Christensen's back pocket here. This ball is thrown a little bit behind Todd, and Mickey's right there. In fact, the ball hits him between the 4 and 9, and not Todd between the 4 and 6.
It'll be second down and 10. Rams looking for their 3rd straight win of the season. And if the 49ers lose, it would give the Rams undisputed possession early in this year, first place in the NFC West. Second and 10. A lot of receivers in there, 4 to be exact. Beuerlein's toss, thrown behind Timmy Brown, covered by several Rams, including Gray, Johnson, and Owens, and that'll bring up 3rd down with 1:46 showing on the clock. And welcome to our viewers who have seen the Atlanta Falcons shock the 49ers 34-17. Right here, the Rams, trying to nail down their 3rd win, have come up with their 9th sack of the game. The 5th by Gary Jeter. The big play of the game moments ago, Jim Everett to Aaron Cox for the 54-yard touchdown.
Everett's just on a simple rollout play to get away from the pressure, and Cox is running an out and up pattern, and he gets way behind Ron Fellows for the touchdown. This one salted it away right here.
Dick Stockton along with Dan Fouts here at the Coliseum. Story of this ball game has been a great defense by the Rams. Problems by the Raiders' offensive line.
We've had a lot of penalties today, and we've had a lot of sacks.
9 by the Rams, a safety. Everett has had an outstanding game. Despite suffering a concussion in the first half, he was out briefly, and Greg Bell has gone over 100 yards for the second consecutive game. So a big game for Everett, but this game has been won by the defense for the Rams.
No doubt. 9 sacks today. That's just 3 shy of an NFL record, and we still got a couple of plays left.
Raiders do have 2 timeouts remaining. They're at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 14 on the 49. Berline going for Brown. Touchdown to Tim Brown. 49 yards. He beat Mickey Sutton. And the first catch of the game by Timmy Brown gets 6. So now, Dan, the Raiders, who have 2 timeouts left, not much time on the clock, especially with the 45-second clock rule, maybe looking for an onside situation. Meanwhile, Chris Barr will attempt the extra point. Tim Brown, with his 2nd touchdown receiving this year. He's returned a kickoff 97 yards for a score. Barr's kick is good, and it's now 22-17.
This is inconceivable that you can throw a bomb on 4th down and about 15 yards for the first down and in a prevent situation and have it complete for a touchdown. Mickey Sutton had a man-to-man, but also Vince Newsom is supposed to double cover from the deep half of the field. Brown went right between both of them and got the touchdown. Fine throw by Berline, but I bet he's the most surprised man on the entire field that he got a touchdown out of it.
And for our viewers who just joined us, Berline has not seen Jay Schroeder into the ball game because he has had an outstanding game today at quarterback. His problem has come up front.
He has really answered the challenge of Jay Schroeder, and it appears that he's answered a lot of people's questions about his competitiveness and his desire. He has been under tremendous pressure all day long. It seems like every time he snaps the ball, he's faced with a 3rd down and 20 yards or 3rd and 15, and he continues to make the big play.
318 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for Berline. Jay Schroeder sitting out another week. 22-17, and the Raiders need a touchdown.
Well, we're going to see a definite onside kick here. There's just nothing else the Raiders can do to get back into this ball game. You'll notice that the Rams have a lot of receiver types in that front line. This is their onside kick coverage team, and they have some very solid people that can handle the ball.
They're all lined up to the left of Barr. You're looking at Barr. There you see the lineup by the Raiders. For the onside kick, it has to go 10 yards. And it goes out of bounds.
And it didn't go 10 yards, and I believe that the Rams will get possession now on the 35-yard line.
Kickoff out of bounds, 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
They're going to kick now from the 30.
Well, that surprises me. I thought when they had a new rule in the NFL that when the ball is kicked out of bounds, it goes to the 35-yard line. Apparently not so on the onside kick attempt.
Scoring on a 49-yard touchdown pass from
And they couldn't get it on the 35, but at least they should get it at the point where it goes out of bounds. But they'll kick again.
Barr did a nice job with that kick, getting the ball to bounce a lot. Sometimes on a natural surface like the Coliseum, the ball won't come up.
Rams have all of their receiver types and defensive backs up at the line. Gaston Green and Robert Del Pino are back. So Barr will try again, this time from the 30. And here's the kick. He kicks it hard, and the Rams cover it up at the 40. Jerry Gray. So the Rams now with 1:33. We'll have the ball, leading 22-17. The Raiders still have 2 timeouts left, and it appears they'll have to take those timeouts on defense.
Well, we can clear up the onside kick. When it's an obvious onside kick attempt and it goes out of bounds, it's a 5-yard penalty. Now, if the Raiders were to kick the following kick out of bounds, then the Rams would have received possession where it went out of bounds.
Reviewing the scores of the day, Rams will take their time, and again, as you pointed out earlier, Dan, this is where that 45-second clock really works to the Rams' advantage.
And they believe that they can run it out by just falling on the ball. Now, the Raiders will call timeout here.
1:29 remaining. They have one timeout left. More scores on an upset week.
Raiders.
Third week of the NFL season.
40 seconds.
Big question is, you know, they acquired the Raiders, Jay Schrader, and yet in trading Lachey, they have really seemed to open up a gap at the left tackle position, and with the injuries, they have had problems on the offensive line throughout the day.
Well, it seems like when things go bad, they go all bad, and the Raiders had finally answered their problem of how are we going to protect the quarterback when they got Jim Lachey. They moved Mosbar to tackle, then they moved him to center, then he gets hurt. Holloway hurts his shoulder. Now you trade Lachey away. Now you've got Rory Graves playing in there and Steve Wright, two guys that aren't as experienced, and the entire offensive unit is now got some questions in their mind about what they can do as far as protecting the quarterback.
And in talking with Al Davis before the game, he kind of felt that if they had Lachey, they might have beaten the Houston Oilers, but he knows that Jay Schrader is the guy they need in the long run. Raiders have one more timeout left. The Giants beat the Dallas Cowboys 12-10, so the Giants 2-1 on the year. 1:25 to go. The Raiders have used up their last timeout, and this is where that 45-second clock will benefit the Rams. Looking ahead, the Raiders have to go to Denver next week, where the Broncos were beaten by Kansas City.
And the Broncos never, ever lose in Mile High Stadium.
Except when Seattle beats them.
Seattle comes in the first game this year and beats them.
Now the Rams next week will go against the Giants. They will go east to face the Giants. Giants Stadium. Then they have a couple of games, not the most difficult on the schedule, although Atlanta did knock off San Francisco today, and then two very tough games in Anaheim against the 49ers and the Seahawks.
It's really going to be an interesting year, Dick. I think in all the divisions in both conferences, you've got teams that can come up and really surprise you as they have done today.
Is there a team that has stood out at all to you in either conference so far?
Well, I think Seattle was standing out for me until the Chargers beat them today.
3rd and 15. Bell has gone over 100 yards on the day. Gets inside the 40. That'll make it 4th down. Jerry Robinson on the stop, and the Raiders can no longer stop the clock themselves. The score was 10-0 in favor of the Rams, and the Raiders in the 3rd quarter fought back to tie it up as Berline hit Marcus Allen with a 30-yard touchdown pass, and then the defense took over. A safety, 2 points, a Lansford field goal from 46 yards, and then Cox on the receiving end of an Everett touchdown toss made it 22-10 before the Raiders came back on the score to Tim Brown. Too little, too late.
This is a curious situation we have here. Now the Raiders will get the ball back with about 25-30 seconds to go. The Rams are going to let it run all the way down, take the 5-yard penalty for delay a game, and then we'll see if they're going to kick the ball to them or if they're just going to let their offense run it out. What happens, though?
5 yards, still 4th down.
What happens in this situation, if the Rams were to run the ball and not make the 1st down, the clock will stop because it's changed of possession. And, well, that question has been answered as here comes the punt team.
And Camarillo has done a great job today. He is one of the heroes. They'll talk about Everett, they'll talk about the defense and Greg Bell, but Rich Camarillo has kept the Raiders, for the most part, hemmed in. There's Tim Brown. If they ever needed a great return, I don't think he's going to give them much of a chance. Kicking it away from Brown, although he's going to field it at the 6-yard line. And the Rams are there with good kick coverage, and Brown is downed at the 12 by Mike McDonald with 22 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter.
The Raiders had very little choices there. They went after Camarillo, tried to block the punt, so when Tim Brown fields it, he has absolutely nobody there to block for him.
38 yards in the punt.
No secret to what the Raiders will try here with 22 seconds left.
We were just in this situation, and Berline throws about a 60-yarder for a touchdown. So I know one thing, the Rams secondary will be playing very deep, and they will make sure that nobody gets behind them at this stage of the game.
Well, they've got Galt, Brown, Lofton, Christensen, you name them, they've got them, and they're going out. They have 3 wide receivers lined up to the left. Lofton, Galt, and Brown. Berline got a late rush, and Christensen, the intended receiver, Mike Wilshire, put the pressure on. Clock shows 17 seconds remaining, and it's 2nd down. Raiders will go to 1-2 on the season. Last year they opened up 3-0. Third game, of course, was a replacement victory. And Mike Shanahan, who came over from the Denver Broncos, will have to try to bring his club back. He's got a young team, but injuries have made it even tougher.
He's got to find out something about his offensive line. He's got to correct a lot of problems there. He may not be able to because the personnel is not there.
Deep downfield to the 3 receivers. Knocked away. Jerry Gray was right in the middle of the pack. Lofton was the intended receiver. The Rams have a deep man 35 yards downfield as a deep safety in any event.
Well, you can call this the Hail Mary, the Big Ben, the Statue of Liberty, just about anything. I call it incomplete.
So there are 10 seconds remaining. And it'll be 3rd down and 10. The down's not the key here. That time Beuerlein threw it 55 yards, kind of an arc, however. Beuerlein again going up top. Oh! Let's see if it was caught, and it was by Lofton. James Lofton's out of bounds as time runs out. The ball was deflected off of Vince Newsom. Lofton caught it, but he was knocked out of bounds. And that ends the game, and what a heartbreaking way. What could have been a miracle kind of victory if Lofton had gone in.
Now you know why they call it the Hail Mary. Their prayer was almost answered.
That's amazing. I saw the Falcons beat the 49ers on a play like this, closer to the goal line, though. Here it is.
Lofton is the guy. He's not supposed to jump for this ball. He's just going to rebound it. You see Timmy Brown's there also for the rebound. It comes to Lofton. Heads up play by Vince Newsom to push him out of bounds and win the ball game.
Here's the way to end it. 57 yards. Lofton said, looky here.
It just fell right in his lap, but that is designed. You would think that everybody's supposed to jump up in the air, but he's just there to rebound it along with Timmy Brown. Willie Gault's the guy that is right in the middle of this.
There it is. Lofton makes the catch out of bounds to end the game. 375 yards passing for Steve Beuerlein as the game ends. And the LA Rams have defeated the Los Angeles Raiders 22-17 in the Battle of LA today before 84,000 at the Coliseum. We'll be back. Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts will be back in just a moment. What? Okay. Now, you said promise Brent, and I didn't. And I didn't promise him. So, all's well that ends well. All right. You got a card or not? 12 seconds to say goodbye.
Murder, She Wrote.
Okay. I got it. No, that's all right. I don't need it.
Game Anthony Giffen the last play. CBS Station Nation. Not me.
All right. I'm just. Jim Everett to Cox, the touchdown that clinched it for the Rams today. And so, for Dan Fouts, this is Dick Stockton saying so long from the Coliseum in Los Angeles, where the Rams beat the Raiders and go 3-0 on the year, 22-17. Goodbye, everybody.